Okay, hello. So today I figured, this is a video I've been meaning to do for a couple of years now. This is a Lendrum Saxony wheel. I've had it for a couple of years. No, 3 years. 3 years coming up. It's a brilliant wheel, I really like it. And I have this piece of kit for it here. This is a Lendrum Saxony 60:1 very fast flyer. Other name, stupid fast flyer, the 60, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. So, let's look at this piece of kit. It is a very specialist piece of kit designed to do one thing. Fine, high twist. That's what this thing is designed to do. It does it very well, but it is not a simple spinning wheel. If you're used to using simple wheels, this is a completely different monster. Handles completely differently. It is Irish tension, so the drive band goes over the bobbin, which you can see here, and the flyer is braked not by a band, but by the sheer amount of air resistance that it creates as it operates at working speed. So it runs around 3,600 RPM, so pretty quickly, very quickly. I'm just going to let me take the flyer off just briefly so you can see what it looks like. Just get the gist of what we're dealing with here. Let's twist this off. Okay. So the flyer looks like this. Take it off. You've got a very small orifice here, about 3mm I think. And if I take the bobbin off, you'll notice it's not dissimilar to the upright very fast flyer. The bobbin is the interesting bit. You'll notice here. See, there's your drive grooves. That's what your drive band goes on. It's got some bearings in it as well, and slightly fatter cores as well. But this fits in here. There are sealed bearings in each one of these maidens. You can see those there, and that just means that it's a very nice low friction bearing situation. So let's just pop all this stuff back on. Let's talk a bit about it. So it's been around for a long while, and the first person who really publicly talked about theirs was Abby Frankemont. Fantastic spinner. I've known her for a while, and she's brilliant. Probably the first person who was seen videoed on this spinning wheel. So it's quite an intimidating beast. If you're used to other spinning wheels, as I said, it's completely different to this. This takes no prisoners. It inserts twist very, very, very quickly. It will wrap it around the arms at the blink of an eye. It will snap the arm in the blink of an eye. You have to learn to become good at working with this. I probably spun 2 bobbins of pretty awful yarn before I really started to get to grips with this flyer. It is not at all everyone would want. I would say about 90% of spinners are probably not going to want this piece of kit. It takes time to get to learn it. Not too many people are fast enough really with their drafting that they're going to get much out of spinning on it. There are those who might do, but the vast majority of spinners, this is not probably going to be at all for them. Just because of what it's designed to do. It's designed to go very quickly and spin a lot of yarn. I love it because I spin a lot of yarn for weaving. And if you are a weaver, you know weaving eats yarn. You could be spinning, I don't know, depending on what you're spinning. If you're spinning fine yarn, silk say, you might be setting it at 40 ends per inch. That means for a 40 ends per inch fabric, you may need, say, 5-yard warp. You may need around 200 yards just for 1 inch of fabric, just for 1 inch of warp. It means you could be spinning up to about 4,000 or 5,000, maybe more, yards of warp alone for this, let alone weft, if you spin weft. That is a lot of yarn. You need I need a way of producing this quickly. This is about the best thing. I mostly spin silk blends on it. I've spun cotton on it. I do occasionally spin wool on it. It's not my favourite thing to do. I have other wheels that spin wool very nicely. But this one is really what I use for my exotic and silk mainly. This head actually virtually never comes off of here. I keep it on there most of the time. But the reason I really wanted to do this video is because this flyer was unobtainable. It was almost like in beta testing for a number of years before, probably up until about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. It's only within the last couple of years that this flyer has actually started to become a little bit more easy to come by on the market. By no means not many people have them, but beforehand I could count the people who owned them on one hand. These days more people own them, and there isn't really much support on how to get this thing to work for you. So, hence I thought I'd make a video. So I'm going to demonstrate how. Alright, let's look at this piece of equipment. Let's look at how it spins. So, first of all, we've got to get this thing threaded. Now, threading it is a bit of an ordeal. The way you do it is you've got this arm here. You insert the threading hook down the arm. So, let's see if I can do it in the orientation. Down this arm, down the arm, pull the arm through, okay? You then pull it through the orifice here. If you've got this set up, you'll understand. Pull it through the orifice. Once you've done that, bear in mind these arms are directional. So the left arm is for spinning clockwise, the right arm is for spinning counterclockwise. That is because they are routed in a directional way. When you spin on this thing, it's going to be noisy. It will be noisy because of the way setup works. You get vibration caused by bobbin bearings, which is fine. I mean, it's just a case that where you're going so fast, any tiny tenth of a millimetre is going to make a huge difference. You know, you've got the flyer arms which can distort. Of course, the balance won't be perfect because this is changing the centre of mass constantly. This very tiny ring, which, believe it or not, may only weigh, I don't know, 50 milligrams, will still make a difference. When you're spinning at high speed, what doesn't matter at low speed starts to really make a big difference. So this is a pretty good setup in terms of that. For noise, not great, but you learn to live with it. So let's have a spin and you'll see what I mean. So I'm just going to get this wheel going at my normal production gait. So let's get this thing going. Now you'll notice it is fast. It's making noise. It will make that noise. Now, here's one of the pitfalls people come to when they're spinning. I'm just going to stop treading and see what happens. Oh look, mess. This flyer has a tendency to... oh well, means you can see me through it again. It does tend to throw the yarn around it the minute you try and stop. So what I do is when I'm spinning, I would do that and then I would touch the flyer and just slow it gradually with my hand. That's how I slow the flyer down myself. So finding the clockwise arm, you'll be able to see which one it is. Let's pin that through there, through the flyer arm. Let's just draw it down. Let's do it there. I just tend to ram that hook through there, as I was shown to do by someone else who owns this flyer. So we've threaded again. It does get a bit of a rigmarole. You get very good at not breaking yarn, believe me. So yeah, I mean, the yarn you can spin on this is also limited. It will only take very fine yarn, and I'm going to stop it because I can see my bearing working its way out a little bit. But there we go. As I say, you'll notice I ramp my treadling up. I don't instantly start treadling super quickly. You do, it'll just snap the yarn straight out of your hand. But you can see that once you've got to a comfortable production gauge, it's actually a very comfortable wheel to use. Treadling shouldn't be hugely complicated or difficult. And yeah, generally very good. So, obviously I'm not a Lendrum dealer or anything. I just thought this would be a useful video so that people can start to understand how this thing works. And just so you can see the yarn I'm spinning to make this wheel workable. This is Shetland top I'm spinning. What I'm working on is pretty fine. You're going to apply that. That's probably what? It's probably a lace weight. Probably would apply 30 wraps per inch, maybe 25, 30. Once that's applied, you're only going to get fine yarn through this thing, as I say. That orifice is only about 3 millimeters, so the yarns you're going to be able to spin are pretty limited. But if you learn to work with this piece of equipment, it is a fantastic piece of kit. So hopefully that was useful and you enjoyed that. And any more questions, just drop me a comment on this video, or find me on Ravelry as Longdrawjames, and I'll be happy to try and help you. Okay, hope this helps.